Hello, big beautiful world. I thought we'd take a trip up through Yorkshire today from a long forgotten memory, and we're going to take up an old, beautiful old Staggerwing. This one looks to be from with the RAF markings, but it looks, unless I miss my mark, looks like a Dutch squadron hack to get around in. Anyway, we'll see when we get up there what she's like. Beautiful, gorgeous aircraft, all the way through Yorkshire, and I just want to go up through Scarborough and maybe take it down near Whitby or somewhere, because all those weird memories. Alright, so we're good, and I'll just reset our beloved track IR. Alright, let's do this. So yeah, we're not going cold and dark, we're just going to get her up in the air because it's from a farmer's field somewhere. You know what Yorkshire farmers are like, or Lincolnshire farm? Nah, Yorkie. Wonder if it's going to have that usual kick off to the left and then to the right. Yeah, there it is. Come on, Bubba. Let's get her up there. Yep. And we're up. Not too much heartache. Alright, so down to the south should be Bridlington. In fact, let's go over there once we get past the massive turbines. We'll get past these puppies. Straight ahead should be Filey from memory. Get the undercarriage up, eh? That'll be Brid. The sea's looking very pleasant today. Out about, but we can hang under that. Good old Albion. I've got a vague memory of sleeping in a parked train there on a cold winter's night down here somewhere, but that's a story for another time. Once again contravening all the flight rules in the world down through history. So we go up for a squiz over Yorkshire. Now the reason I wanted to take this trip was because hopefully as we get up to Scarborough we'll see it a little clearer. But I want to see if they've actually modelled the, there's an RAF early warning base up there. I don't even know if it's still there. But it used to have the big old AWAC, early warning systems for flaps? I don't know, flaps do I? All good. Yeah, it used to have an early warning system. I'm pretty sure it's still there. It's got the big golf balls. I think it was RAF Lyngsdales or something like that. But I'd been hitchhiking north of Scarborough, and for some reason I couldn't catch a lift. It was a good day. It was a great day for walking through the North Yorkshire moors. And I come over this rise, and not too far off were these massive golf balls, and I thought it was a kind of film set or something. I had no idea. But anyway, we'll see if they're there, see if they still freak me out the same way they did a lifetime ago. And if they're not, then, you know, I'll send a very angry letter to a Sobo, or not, as the case may be. So I don't know if you got a chance or was even interested in looking at the last one I did. Hell, I don't know even recall what I did. Oh yeah, Camden, out through Warragamba Dam up in Sydney. This time we're 12,000 miles away. I'm not sure, maybe that's Filey down there, off to our 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's probably Filey. So theoretically we should be able to follow the train line up there, but you know, I can't be asked doing that sort of thing. I'm just going to fly. And this thing's a joy to birdle about in. I mean, look at this, it's just absolutely gorgeous, this cockpit. If you don't have the Staggerwing, go out and grab it. You'll be well rewarded. It's a joy to fly, especially if you like these golden wings, golden era type aircraft, these interbellum, interwar aircraft. They're just lovely. I'm looking forward, I bought the Boeing 247D the other day. I look forward to learning about that puppy and taking it up over coming days and weeks and getting used to it. But and I've been doing a trip all around Australia. I've taken off out of Lilydale, run down through all southern Victoria, right across South Australia, over across southern Western Australia. Actually, I've come down a bit. 2 grand should do it. And gotten up as far north as Carenado in Western Australia. So I've got to pick up the trail from there as I sort of map out Australia. All those early bush trips, I did those through Chile and what's the other one? The one over up through Lake Tahoe and that. Those pre-equipped bush trips. I did all of those a couple of years ago when I got this sim and absolutely fell in love with them. So doing these kind of long haul trips in legs is an absolute joy, a blast. Looking out now, so we'll head up here. Doesn't it look gorgeous down there? Utterly gorgeous. Hopefully we'll get a feel for all the little craggy bits. I don't know if we're going to hit Whitby, where Bram Stoker, if I recall rightly, was inspired to write Dracula as he made his way up the steps to Whitby Abbey and sat on the old stone bench. Of course, Whitby is where Captain Cook comes from. Won't say anything about him for fear of pissing people off. So often happens. Actually, I will. I mean, you know, it was the age of colonisation, so he pretty much fitted the bill. But Middlesbrough, where my people come from, or half my people come from, further north than that. Yeah, so we're over the back of... Oh, is this going to be... Actually, let's take a dive down. Let's have a squeeze. Got here. I must admit, I always get a little bit weirded out with the sea here in MSFS, because even when you're down low, it still looks as though you're about 36,000 feet. This big, perfectly, you know, glass-like set of textures. When in fact, down this low, you actually start seeing the white caps more and more frequently. And many other things besides, but doubtless the Sobo will be working on that. So I'm guessing this will be Scarborough right about now. And I'm trying to remember, I actually went over there looking for work on the boats a lifetime ago, and I forget the name of the pub with all the sailors, but it was like one of those pubs out of a movie, you know, all the rough and tumble sailors from many of them still, you know, alive after the Second World War at that stage. And it's kind of weird drinking in these bars back then. But, you know, life's rich tapestry and all that jazz. Alright, so we'll just keep heading north and see if we can spot the famous golf balls. Technically it's kind of more northwest really, but it's all good. All good, all good. See if this RAF station is there. So it's not a long flight, which is good because I want to keep these things to about half an hour so I don't bore everybody's brains out more than I already do. So let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. But this should be the start of the moors. Beautiful part of the world from memory if you ever get up that way. It's quite haunting in many places, and I know that's a word often associated with England, but I don't mean it in that ghostly way. I mean it in that isolated beauty. Given that at the time that I was over there, I think they had a population of 64 million, and you'd be in some places and for the life of you, you couldn't figure out where any one of those people were. I'm not even sure what the population of England is now, so if anybody wants to throw it in the comments, by all means, chuck it down there. I should have mapped this out better, shouldn't I really? Mapped. One day I'll learn to speak my own language. Oh, what the hell, we'll just keep going north. See what's what. Technically it looks more like the moors that we're actually just now heading into up around 1 o'clock there. We're just going to keep it nice and low. So how's your week going, gang? I hope you're well, hope you're all safe and sane. Hope you're looking out for each other, taking care of each other. Now, I'm not sure what the being Carenado, I'm not sure what the study level, as they like to call it. I'm not sure what that's like for this aircraft. So I'm not really trying to take care of the donk, the engine, or much less anything else. Just flying for the sake of flying. And trying to look for these bloody huge golf balls with the radar system. Okay, so this looks more like the moors that I remember, fairly pared back. All like heather and gorse. Don't even know if they're the right shrubs or plants that were growing up that way, but it sure felt like it. That looks like something, doesn't it? Let's have a squeeze. I believe actually the golf balls might even be gone now. I think it's actually, they've long since replaced them with a single environment. Like a single radar structure or something like that. definitely looks like something. What it is, anybody's guess. Anyone? Like I said, just put it down in the comments. For anyone who lives up around that way, just say it, turn around and say, no, you flying liar, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. If I'm anywhere near the truth, actually, yeah, look at this. Yeah, that's probably what it was. With the old structures well and truly gone by now. Reasonably sure there wasn't an air... Oh, there might be an airfield up here. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to venture a wild guess and say that would have been it, gang. The golf balls are no more. Still, like I care, flying over my ancestral home. The hordes of all these Yorkies and Vikings and God knows what else screaming in the back of my mind as I fly a simulated Beech Staggerwing from 1932 off the top of my head over a simulated England. Doesn't get any better than that on a Sunday. Alright, I babbled on enough. No holy grail to this one, unfortunately, clan, but still a gorgeous part of the world to birtle about in the aircraft of your choice. Like I said, I love this sucker to high heaven. I think this and all those interbellum ones are just amazing aircraft. The new Grum and Goose, even that Redux one there, the freebie that was around for a while. Absolutely. In fact, I think it's still good. The Redux one, I believe, is a later model with the pneumatic wingtips, the retracting wingtips, whereas the newer one is the earlier Mark, and I'm guessing now Mark 1 maybe, Mark 2, and it had the fixed floats. But yeah, they're both a joy to fly. This sucker's a joy to fly. In fact, it'd be pretty darned cool if this puppy was released on the float version as well. Hopefully Carenado might do something about that and release a float version, which would be absolutely gorgeous. I'm a sucker for float planes and seaplanes. A lot of people bagged out on the Donny of R recently. I think more for you. They're an intensely cool looking aircraft, and I look forward to things like the Catalina. Hell, even obscure aircraft. I think it was a Dornier 212 specifically made for Switzerland during the Second World War, and they used, and I mentioned it last time, things like it had a rear ramping engine, so it wouldn't suffer ill effect from the takeoffs and landings on the water. But yeah, more seaplanes, I say, more oddities, more oddballs, and I don't know, you guys can correct me, or you clan can correct me, but I think you got people look for two things in this simulator. They look for, yeah, the photorealism of scenery and stuff because of that immersion, that wow factor, which is of course awesome. It is a wonderful sensation when you look down and you do a 30 degree and you go, okay, that's pretty wild and wacky, especially in VR, you know, as in real life. But I think the other thing is, you know, people want not just cool aircraft, but cool aircraft of differing speeds. You know, that's why I love the last of the, or that period from 1925 especially up to 1945, where there were phenomenal leaps and bounds in speed. You know, from the Schneider Trophy right through to the last days of piston engine aircraft, both by today's standards, general aviation like Monospar or Percival, right through to the fighters, the last of the piston fighters from de Havilland especially, I guess, aircraft like the Hornet, maybe even stuff like the what am I trying to think of here? The Buckingham, Bristol Buckingham, and the trainer version, the Buckmaster. But you know, very, very fast aircraft, right back to the gentle, slow things. Right through to, of course, the early jets, the Venom, Vampire, maybe even the Gloucester Whittle, the E3. E3? Yeah, that'd all be much, much welcome up here. The Saunders Road, the Saro no, what was that weird seaplane they built, that early jet? Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Alright, I'll shut up. Try and find an airport to land. Might even have to go for ATC plan. We'll bring her on 25. Stop. Might have to scroll down a bit. Yeah, how gorgeous is this thing? Absolutely beautiful. Apologies for the views going all out of whack, gang. It's track IR can be notorious at the best of times. I doubt I'm going to find Egton. It's probably just another field. But again, the speed on this puppy is absolutely glorious as well. I think you've got a cruise of around 170 thereabouts, 3/4 throttle. So what, 3200 on the manifold. Hang on, what am I saying? What am I saying? What am I saying? Should trim it up a bit, really. Yeah, so around 3000 RPM. RPM's a bit high, should have dropped down ages ago, but that's living. Okay, so it drops it down. Cool.
X-ray traffic Beechcraft 6 miles northwest 2,700 feet inbound to land runway 25.
6 miles, so theoretically we should be able to bring it down just over here. And this is always the fun part, looking for the field to land in. It's most of Marfields. They used to have all the most famous airfields in the world here, and most of them are long since gone. Most of them you'd be flying, not even GA aircraft out of ultralights mostly, I should think. Reset on this puppy. Huh. Trying to what's going on here? Obviously I didn't come off reserve on the tank. It's a very naughty boy. Alright, too late now, we're looking for a place to land, so that's what we'll go for. Always check your fuel, people. Always check your fuel. The other thing I need to remember, of course, is to bring the bloody landing gear down on this puppy before I actually bring it in. Otherwise it'll just be embarrassment.
Echo Golf X-ray traffic Beechcraft 4 miles north, 1,400 feet inbound to land, runway 25.
Theoretically, okay, so this should put us down not far from where we came from anyway, if not at the same field. I love birdling about in this sucker. It's just beautiful, this plane. It's that wood grain finish, little things like this, you just go, okay, that's good, that's lovely. Hopefully the vocal recording is coming through. It's not all just sibilance and hiss. Let's have a look. Actually, shit, is that Whitby? Let's have a look. Looks like the Abbey. Oh wow, okay, cool. That may just well be Whitby Abbey. And down and out on those two, at the end of, I think, the northernmost pier there, just by this brace, just over yonder. Yeah, that's Whitby Abbey. There you go. That, according to legend, and I'm quite prepared to say I'm wrong, just coming up, there's a little graveyard down there near the clock tower, and that is where Bram Stoker stopped to enjoy a bit of a pipe, or a cigar, or maybe even a spliff. Who knows about these things? And because he'd heard of Vlad the Impaler, and he sort of started forging a story around Dracula, and off on that northern pier is where you got the statue of James Cook. I forget the poem. Is it Ozymandias to seek, to strive, and never to yield, or something, being at the base plate of it? The shit you remember after 40 years. Anyway, let's get down, people.
Echo Golf X-ray traffic Beechcraft 5 miles east, 1,200 feet inbound to land, runway 25.
Okay, 5 miles east. I'm going to have hell's own time finding this beastie, we all know it. Let's look at the compass. Sucker again, so it's there. You can't help it. You just want to go over these random little auto-generated environments and go, is that what I think it is? And of course it never is. That's alright. Although it does look a bit sus, doesn't it? That looks like somebody. Can't just be a mine, surely. All good. All good. happy. 5 miles southeast. Actually, it looks a lot more desolate there, doesn't it? It looks as though it's had a scorched earth policy through it. But actually it is really gorgeous. It's beautiful up that way. And look, if I don't find a runway, I'm just going to put it down anywhere. Mercifully in this sim, for the most part, I've got pylons and wires and all that stuff, but I don't think I have, I don't think there's barbed wire fences everywhere, so maybe I can put it down just in a field somewhere. That'll be interesting.
Echo Golf X-ray traffic Beechcraft 4 miles south 1,400 feet inbound to land runway 25.
Alright. Let's just head north. Can't see the whiskey. Yeah, okay, let's bring it straight north. So, you know, if you're going to get lost in any part of the world, it's as well to get lost up here as anywhere else. Hopefully I've tricked enough fuel into it so we won't run out anytime soon. I love this simulator. My God, I think it's a work of art, this damn thing. Alright, does this look like a field that's safe enough to land in? Probably not. Should we give it a go? Probably. Oh, what's that below us? It's kale, surely.
Echo Golf X-ray traffic Beechcraft 1 mile southwest 1,300 feet inbound to land runway 25.
Come on, southwest, which will put us over this way, yeah? Which means I should have plenty of viz. Maybe it's you. You know what? That looks like a damn good stretcher. I don't care. Don't care about base, don't care about final. In the absence of anything else, I'm just going to put it down there. If it'll let me. Give ourselves some landing gear. What's our speed like? Oh, yeah, we should be able to give it there. Give it a bunch of flaps. And I don't care if it's an airfield or not. I'm declaring it an airfield now. Just pretend I'm working for, I don't know, the Whitby Greater Council or something like that. Perfect. Alright, let's do it. Give ourselves another notch. Because what we're doing is highly disreputable. I'll probably end up stacking it. That's okay. That's okay. What's that speed like? Yeah, bring it down. Doubtless I'll piss off a farmer. End up wiping out his harvester. But again. Tree line. Probably get a few branches. See if we can do it. Come on, kid. Rough and ready.
That was tricky. Good landing overall.
Oh, thanks, mate. Get some brakes on. Hold it back. Hold it back. put her on the rise, get the flaps up. If anyone gets the shits with me, it's alright, just tell them that ran out of juice. We'll kill it there. Parking brake on. And let's kill this puppy. So there you go. Oh, thank you very much. There you go, folks. It's a trip through Yorkshire. And I won't keep you any longer while I shut this puppy down. Thanks for flying out with me. Alright, big beautiful world. See you later.